3 million votes, the Electoral College is expected to confirm Donald Trump as president.
Most people now feel that the popular vote would be much more democratic.
Anti-Trump protesters held signs outside of the New Mexico Secretary of State's office today and applauded the vote for Clinton. Some people across the country were still holding out hope for a plan that could keep Trump from taking office, a plan that many political experts say was improbable.
There was an initiative to get Trump electoral voters to switch their vote, but I just don't think it will happen.
New Mexico's electors voted in line with the popular vote, but that's not the case in every state. New Mexico's state statute actually requires our 5 electors to cast their ballot to match the popular vote. Not doing so is actually a 4th-degree felony. Those official electoral ballots were mailed from New Mexico to Washington this afternoon. In Santa Fe, Sandra Ramirez, KOAT, Action 7 News.
One Democrat in Maine tried to cast his electoral vote for former candidate Bernie Sanders. However, it was ruled improper and he ended up voting for Hillary Clinton. Demonstrators protested outside state houses across the country, urging Republican electors to vote for someone other than Donald Trump. Sally Kidd shows you how they did it.
Doug, the Electoral College vote is a formality few Americans pay attention to, but this year is different. In state capitals across the country,
do you solemnly swear or affirm?
Agreeably to the best of my ability.
Electors took an oath and cast their ballots.
20 votes for Donald J. Trump.
There are 18 votes for Donald J. Trump.
We have 4 votes for Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Protesters disrupted the proceedings in Wisconsin.
10 votes, Donald J. Trump.
And Pennsylvania. While Hillary Clinton won the popular vote by more than 2.5 million, Donald Trump scored an Electoral College victory on election night, and that's the tally that counts. Scholars say efforts to change the system are a long shot.
It is intentionally very difficult to change the Constitution of the United States. You need a 2/3 vote of the U.S. Senate, 2/3 vote of the U.S. House, and 75% of the state legislatures have to agree.
Leaving anti-Trump activists to flood Republican electors with emails, phone calls, and letters in a last-ditch effort to persuade them to dump Trump.
I think once this day is over, we're going to see it was sort of a lot of hoopla with virtually no impact.
Now, in at least 3 states won by Hillary Clinton, a handful of electors refused to cast their ballots for Clinton. In Washington, Sally Kidd, KOAT, Action 7 News.
Congress is scheduled to certify the results January 6th. The 45th president will be inaugurated on January 20th. Voting results from the presidential election show Albuquerque trending Democratic while surrounding areas lean Republican. Torrance and Valencia counties in the city of Rio Rancho voted Republican, while Hillary Clinton won Sandoval County by 3%. An update now on the APD shooting that killed a man in the foothills. The incoming Bernalillo County DA, Raul Torres, is planning to talk with the media about the James Boyd case. Tomorrow, he will explain plans for an independent review. The charges against Dominic Perez have been dropped, but his co-defendant, former APD Detective Keith Sandy, still faces charges of second-degree murder and aggravated battery. The Albuquerque City Council is meeting tonight, and one thing they may talk about is the amount of untested evidence from sexual assault cases. A councilor has come up with a possible solution to the backlog. It includes a series of deadlines that would require police to send new rape kits to the lab for testing. The council will likely consider the bill next month. Also happening tonight, top leaders at the VA will be at the Veterans Memorial hosting a town hall meeting. Veterans can get an update on the system and what will happen once the president-elect takes office. It's from 5:30 to 7 at the New Mexico Veterans Memorial. Well, the morning started out cold, but as the sun came up, the day turned out pretty nice. Here's a live look from our exclusive Presbyterian Action Cam. You can see the clear blue sky over downtown Albuquerque as the sun begins to set. Now here's Joe with what we can expect over the next 12 hours.
Yeah, in fact, when we go ahead and look at the time lapse, it looks like it's a still shot almost, but boy, it was a cloud-free day. But with the clear skies, we start off at 21 degrees, so it was very, very cold. But we turned off to be pretty decent in the afternoon, 43. We look at temperatures right now. We're at 40 with a light wind as we go ahead and look statewide. They still have this parts of this Arctic air mass are still hanging on, and you see temperatures in the 30s and 40s throughout much of the eastern part of New Mexico. Hey, finally, you're going to get some relief. That relief is going to start tomorrow. But for tonight, your 12-hour planner looks like this. It'll be cold tonight if you're out and about, and we'll drop to 22 degrees. So bitter tomorrow morning, but we have a couple of storms that'll be impacting us during the 7-day forecast. We'll outline that coming up in my live Super Doppler 7 forecast.
Millions of Americans are feeling the wrath of Mother Nature, and the extreme weather from coast to coast could impact holiday travel plans. 19 states started the week under winter weather alerts. From the roads to the sky, it has been a travel nightmare.
If you're waiting for baggage,
Millions of people forced to wait and scramble.
we're waiting.
After Mother Nature spoiled their travel plans. In all, more than 5,000 flights were delayed and some 1,400 canceled nationwide just on Sunday.
A 3.5-hour flight and spent around 8 hours on the plane.
In Denver, hundreds of Frontier Airlines passengers were still hoping to be reunited with their luggage today after waiting 12 hours.
Usually we drive. I think we'll stick to driving from here on out.
But drivers did not fare much better.
Oh my God!
This fiery tanker crash in Baltimore is part of a fatal 67-car pileup.
The whole 95 is on fire.
Just one of hundreds of accident scenes across the country, and this week, starting how the weekend ended. The deep freeze greeting so many commuters trying to stay warm and positive.
I went to college in Minnesota, so this is a summer day in Minnesota, so this is nothing.
Quite the summer day. On the fire alert tonight, crews were called to a home in Rio Rancho this afternoon. Sky 7 flew over the house near Southern and 14th. You can see white smoke coming out the sides. We are waiting for details on what caused the fire and if anyone was hurt. A driver who crashed a truck carrying a Postal Service package has died. Officials say the big rig hit an abandoned minivan on the side of the road, then slammed into a freeway sign in California. Fire crews had to pull the driver from that crushed cab. They took him to the hospital, but he died. Hundreds of holiday packages spilled onto the road during that accident. Two airlines are breaking up. Delta and Alaska will end their partnership in the spring. That means you won't be able to earn and redeem air miles on flights operated by the other carrier, and they will no longer offer bookings on each other's flights. Industry experts say the relationship between the two deteriorated in recent years since Delta built a hub in Seattle, which is Alaska Air's hometown. A water main break shut down Zia between Yucca and Camino Carlos Rey in Santa Fe. Officials say they will be working to fix the broken water line, so drivers should avoid the area. You can take Rodeo Road as a detour. Well, we are just a few days away from Christmas, and a lot of you are getting ready for some holiday traditions, including all of us here at KOAT. We asked Joe to tell us about his favorite holiday food.
Pozole is my favorite holiday food. We had this tradition in our family where my mother-in-law, she makes this big pot of pozole on Christmas Eve. And this will be the first Christmas where we don't have her with us. She'll be with us in spirit, but my wife has gone ahead and she's picked up the call and she's going to make it this year, and I'm sure it's going to be fantastic.
We will continue sharing with you our favorite holiday memories every day as we count down to Christmas. Still to come on Action 7 News Live at 5, a local Little League is dealing with damages. We're going to tell you what they say happened to their field and concession areas. And Dr. Ramo breaks down the difference between the cold and the flu, the easiest way to know what you're fighting next. And coming up new at 6, a tip helped track down the suspect that police say vandalized a funeral home in Berlin. We're going to tell you how the tipster could end up with $700.
You're watching KOAT Action 7 News Live at 5.
And Albuquerque Little League is hoping you step up to the plate after they say vandals made a mess of their playing field. Action 7 News reporter Megan Cruz shows you what was taken.
Josh Price.
I started playing baseball when I was a little kid.
Is the coach and president of the Lobo Little League in Albuquerque. Over the last 50 years, hundreds of kids have made some incredible plays here, including Price's stepson, Lucas.
I like hitting. I like running too.
That's why Lucas is mad.
I don't know if I'm going to play next year because of all these people.
Vandals, who Price says have targeted their Little League several times in the last few months.
I came out here one day and there was a tent with 7 people in it in one of our dugouts.
And their concession stands still in disarray after getting ransacked last month.
Anything non-perishable has basically been taken.
Price says they also took over 300 baseballs.
But what really surprised Price is finding this milk crate filled with syringes.
Everything that's been broken and stolen and things like that, we're looking at about $23,000.
Price is now asking you to donate any time or money to help clean up this mess so that kids...
My boy loves to play. I would hate to have to tell him that he can't play here anymore.
Have a safe place to play come spring. In Albuquerque, Megan Cruz, KOAT Action 7 News.
Now that your kids are on holiday break, you may be looking for ways to keep them busy. The Albuquerque Biopark is offering behind-the-scenes tours at the zoo and aquarium. From the 26th to the 31st, you can get a closer look at sharks, hippos, rhinos, giraffes, and elephants. A zookeeper will give you personal stories about the animals and see how they prepare food and fun for them. The tours last about an hour but cost $90 a person. And as you lug your kids around to different events, you'll want to make sure they are locked in their seatbelts correctly. Consumer Reports say strapping kids in bulky or puffy coats in their car seats is dangerous. The coat creates a barrier between the child and the harness, making the belt too loose if there's an accident. Instead, they recommend you buckle your child in normally and place a blanket or jacket over them to keep them warm. As your kids start their winter break, one doctor is warning that any screen time for kids under 10 is bad. The author of Glow Kids says any type of technology can be as addicting as drugs and can turn kids into what he calls psychotic junkies. The doctor said even interactive educational programs can be bad and possibly leading to ADHD, anxiety, or depression.
My advice is to hold off as much as possible because an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. I treat teenagers that have tech addiction, and it's extremely difficult to treat once that child has fallen into the rabbit hole.
But not everyone agrees. The American Academy of Pediatrics says that some screen time is okay for younger kids and that some educational programming is even beneficial. Well, as you know, it's the holiday season, and with that, cold and flu season. KOAT's medical expert Dr. Ramo is here to tell you the difference between the sicknesses.
The holidays sometimes bring unwanted guests to your door, people with colds who want to hug you and shake hands. The symptoms of a cold come on slowly with a sore throat and a stuffy nose, usually not much fever. The flu can hit you, though, like a ton of bricks, with severe muscle pains, fevers and chills, and a cough. It is a much more serious disease because it can cause pneumonia, but if you catch the symptoms of a flu early enough, there's medication that can shorten the severity and the length. But prevention with a flu shot is the best approach. If you're not sure whether it's the cold or the flu, try dropping a $5 bill on the floor, and if you can pick it up without any problem, it's probably just a cold. For HealthBeat, I'm Dr. Barry Ramo, KOAT Action 7 News.
Right now on the KOAT app, you can learn the secret behind the famous Posas red chili pork tamales. We had the chance to get behind the scenes look at the process to make the holiday treat. The video is so good it may make you hungry, though. Open the KOAT app for details.
Now, live Super Doppler 7 weather.
Wow, my wife did that all day yesterday. I had a couple too, they're pretty good. All right, let's go ahead and check out what's going on outside. We have a temperature of 40 degrees after hitting that high of 43. Now, if you're getting tired of the cold conditions, we're going to have that for the next several mornings. So we'll be in the 30s tonight. If you're out shopping, we'll wake up tomorrow. Lots of layers needed with temperatures in the lower 20s. However, you kind of see this cold air in place throughout eastern parts of New Mexico. That's going to be eroding away finally, but this is the first system that'll be impacting us Wednesday on into Thursday, bringing some scattered rain, snow showers, depending on the time of day, mainly from Interstate 40 southward. Now, let's go ahead and show you what you'll wake up with tomorrow. You can see those bitter readings in play, clear skies. In fact, tomorrow afternoon will be one of the better days of the next several because temperatures will be milder than what we had today area-wide. And then as we go into the following day, look how the clouds start to thicken, a couple of showers around, a front comes on through. We're still warm on Wednesday before that cooler air starts to work in on Thursday. So we're going to look at that in the 7-day forecast. You can see those cold overnight lows. We go from 50 to a mixture of clouds and sunshine, 52 for the first day of winter. Thursday, again, those scattered rain and snow showers, depending on the time of day. You see the white, that's snow. This pink would be a mixture of rain and snow. So most of that to the south of Interstate 40. That's your Thursday system, all right? And then bits and pieces of it will bring us some isolated showers around for Friday. Christmas Eve, it will start off fine. We'll get breezy in the afternoon, winds increase at night. Then we'll have rain changing into snow showers. So for Christmas Day, yes, there's a potential for a light accumulation of snow around Santa Fe, Albuquerque, more throughout the northern and western mountains. But the reason I have snow ending here is because, I mean, that system is going to be moving pretty quickly. So it's just going to be kind of windy and cold for Christmas Day in the afternoon as the skies start to clear. Continued cold on Monday. Let's go ahead.